This team is broken. They're not playing with any individual pride. They're not playing for their teammates. They're not playing for their coach. They don't care about the fans that have to sit and watch it. Something huge is brewing in that locker room. And I'm sure the Knicks players are trying to paint this as bigger than basketball. But I'm going to explain in this video why effort is a result of the basketball problems of this team. And the finger pointing is the result of the basketball problems with this team. And it looks unfixable. And Leon Rose has 16 days before the NBA trade deadline to figure this out, because this team cannot continue together. They are not playing together. They don't deserve to be together. And it can't be a minor shakeup. A lot of heads are going to roll from this performance. Knicks lose to the Dallas Mavericks 114-97 on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A great man in history, worthy of honoring more than once a year. But the Knicks certainly did not honor him with the most quit effort I've seen all season. And I'm going to explain how this happened. First, leave a like on the video, comment in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel so we can get this content out to Knicks fans like you. I'll go into the game yesterday, and this is what's happening with this Knicks team, is they want to rectify the results. Their process is rushed. Their process is antsy. It's panicked. It's individual. It's let me go get a bucket. Let's deviate from the game plan. Let's see if I could score. And when they're not scoring, the other team is hitting shots, good shots, some of them contested, some of them not. The other team's playing hard. And what happened was the Knicks found themselves in a hole last night, 10 points, 15 points, nothing crazy at home with 36 minutes to go. You can make up for 10 points. We've seen this Knicks team do it all year. And I know a lot of people point back to, New Year's Eve as something that, look, this Knicks team, while they were winning, they gave up 30-plus points in the first quarter. I spoke about it on this show. You can go back in all my old videos. People call me a Grinch. They called me a grouch. They said the team's winning. This is the best team in 25 years. You're finding a thunderstorm in the rainbows or some nonsense like that. I said, look, this starting five is terrible. They don't play defense. This is a problem. So, yesterday's game was not like something that started out any different from the NBA Cup games. Knicks were down against the Raptors, the Magic, and the Spurs at the end of the first quarters. They gave up 30-plus points in those games as well. So anybody trying to look back and say, what happened in the locker room at halftime at New Year's Eve? I'm telling you right now, the finger pointing and the effort and all that is a result of the competitive reality that this Knicks team cannot get stops. And they are officially demoralized. And there are players within that locker room that are trying to, shift the blame and accountability. And then there's players who watch the film and realize you ain't got anything to say to me because you stink too. And that's where the fracturing is happening. Or maybe Dottier is just smashing everybody's girl. I don't know. But I would think it's a basketball reason. You can have your whole ideas about what's happening in the locker room for what you want. I'm telling you right now, this team knows they can't get a stop. And instead of giving 48 minutes of effort, this has been happening for a while, they don't want to do that. They'll do it for the NBA Cup because there's a perceived goal in mind. But right now, they do not want to sell out because they think they could turn it on later on. What they don't realize is they're going to get traded. So the Knicks got out down by 10, 15 points, and they tried to play miracle hero ball and score their way out of it. And the second the game got out of a reach of, hey, we can coast and get a 9-0 run and get it back in a 2-possession game at home, the second that went out of the picture, the Knicks let Najee Marshall get downhill at will. They let Ryan Nembhard, an undrafted rookie, get downhill at will. They let Brandon Williams get downhill at will. And he got by Jalen Brunson. There's people on the timeline that say Jalen Brunson gives effort. He doesn't just get blown by. It's a lie. That is a lie. Jalen Brunson gets blown by with no effort plenty of times. That's our captain. Knicks left the first half down 75-46 to a chorus of boos. They came out in the second half, and they did what they did against Atlanta in the fourth quarter when they were down by 25 against Atlanta. They did what they did against the Sixers in the fourth quarter when they were down by 18 against the Sixers at home. They got embarrassed. Their level of compete, dogging them, kind of activated, and they saw they were about to die, and they wanted to fight to live a little bit. But it's fake. It's not even a fake comeback because they couldn't even get the Mavericks in the second half literally stopped playing basketball. Like, there was a section of the game in the third quarter where I'm pretty sure Klay Thompson took a fadeaway three-pointer with nobody on him. They had a backdoor pass that nobody was looking for. They were turning the ball over. They didn't care. And the Knicks were just desperate, all up in the Mavericks' face. And the Mavericks were like, here, take the ball. We're up 30. Who cares? And the Knicks played like that for 24 minutes. They took a 29-point game. They couldn't crack 15. So you know what that tells me? That tells me that this team knows that even if they sell out for 48 minutes, there's no buy-in because they know they can't get stops. And when they have the ball in their hands, they have guys who think that they can individually carry the scoring. And when their shot's not falling, it's over. They think they're better than what they are. They're not. And I'm going to talk about, let's talk about some of the things I heard at this post game. Mike Brown had the nerve to come out there and say, in the second half, we did the same things in the first half, but we had better results in the second half. No wonder you had better results in the second half. The Mavericks were up by 30. What incentive did they have to press down on their game plan? You were desperate. Of course, you cut the lead from 30 to 18. Are you kidding me? You had a better second half? No wonder you did. Deuce McBride saying that, when you've won, it's hard to find the hunger. What have you won? What has any Knick not named Walt Frazier, Earl Monroe, Phil Jackson, Jerry Lucas, and Bill Bradley ever won? What have you won? What has Bernard King won? What has Patrick Ewing won? What has Carmelo Anthony won? What has this Knicks team won? Nothing! I'm tired of romanticizing the best losers in franchise history. What group of Knicks is going to walk in that locker room and never be satiated by anything other than a championship? This team thinks they've won? Let's go back and analyze who this team really is. They've lost 3 straight seasons with home court advantage. 3 straight seasons with home court advantage. First season they did it was against the Miami Heat, an AC team. The whole fan base said Knicks in 5. The Knicks lost in 6. They couldn't even get back to the Garden. That's what you've won? Then the Knicks play the Indiana Pacers. They're up 2-0. 2-0. They come back to Game 7. The Knicks go down by 25 in Game 7 at home. And they came back and just like they did yesterday, just like they did against the Hawks and the Sixers, they did a fake effort at the end, and they cut that lead in Game 7 to 8 on the backs of Alec Burks. So then I had people telling me they ran out of gas. Nonsense! And you rallied for them, you threw a parade for them, and you filled their heads up and made them think like they were champions for getting blown out at Game 7 at their own crib. But no, they've won. Best team in 25 years. Best loser since Houston. Best loser since Camby. I got a picture with Larry Johnson. Best loser since John Starks. That's what we are. Roll the DVD out. And then you follow up. If they didn't take it personal enough, you follow up that season. You trade 5 picks for Mikal Bridges. You trade Randall and Dante for Cat. You build a team around Brunson. You come back the next year. You have a 16, 18-point lead at home with 5 minutes left in a fourth quarter at game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. And you blow that lead. And you don't even make it back to your home court in game 7. That's what you've won? I got Kobe Bryant saying, we haven't won anything after he won, and he knew he was going to win. These guys win an NBA Cup and don't even get a second-place finish? These dudes had a fourth-place finish as their ceiling. A fourth-place finish. When you've won, what have you won? You've won nothing. You may have fooled people into romanticizing you, into saying, oh, he just needs help. He just needs help. I had Carmelo Anthony on Peacock saying, breaking down and doing a psychological analyzing of the Knicks bench in the huddle and what needs. Carmelo, save it. Seriously. Any Knick that hasn't won a championship can't talk nothing. Can't talk. There's 5 people on the planet that can open their mouth and talk about what needs to happen. And they're all 80 years old. Carmelo Anthony spent a whole season throwing his headband down and running out the tunnel because he couldn't beat Paul Millsap and Al Jefferson to the 8th seed. I don't want to hear about what Melo has to say. No freaking stands of this team, player stands, can tell me nothing. Fake leadership in that locker room. Fake leadership. Fake leadership in that organization. Fake advice in that organization. Knicks let down their alumni. Ooh, who did they let down? What have the people that they let down, what have they done? This is not a J. Cole Nas situation. This is like Lil Uzi Vert and I don't know. Lil Uzi Vert and Blueface. It's loser and loser. And they're both rich. And they're both taking pictures with Knicks fans. Yeah, man, 30 years ago, I hit a shot that resulted in nothing. I'm so tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it. When is a group of players that represents the Knicks going to come into the building in Madison Square Garden and take the void serious? What group of players is going? This is a championship window season, and you have the nerve to point fingers? Jalen Brunson, you're the no one needed to give you that title. No one needed to give you that title. You're not the captain when things are going well. You're the captain when adversity hits. Right now, you are the captain of a locker room, and you're part of it, bud. Pointing fingers, losing by 30 to a tanking Mavericks team. That's your leadership. Leon Rose, embarrassing. Mike Brown, embarrassing. Hands in the pockets. Nothing. Nobody's safe. Nobody should be safe. But if I'm the Knicks, I'm taking Mikal. I saw that Jimmy Butler's out for the season. Hell of a run he had. I'm taking Mikal. I'm trading him for Kuminga. I'm getting a pick, maybe some seconds back. I'm taking Josh Hart. I'm sending him to a contender. I'm taking Mitch. I'm getting seconds back. And I'm going to retool. And that would be the most forward-thinking move this team has done in 20 years. But no, Knicks fans could never buy that. They just want the best losing team in 20 years. We skipped steps, and now we're paying the price for it. And I'm the fool. I really thought that you guys, you Knicks, I thought that you had it in you, and I'm the fool.